We've got a small box of fiction, mainstream fiction, mystery fiction, romantic fiction. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't been through them yet. So I'm inviting you to come through and discover what's in this box. Because I don't know. It's a mystery box. They're all mystery boxes. Welcome to the D. Book Series. I'm Christina K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no demons, none of that fancy stuff going on here. And we've got a box of what looks like hardcover and large paperback fiction. The first one, we think you'll recognize. I recognize John Sanford, Bloody Genius. At the local state university, two feuding departments face off on the battleground of science versus medicine. Each carries its views to extremes that may seem absurd, but highly educated people of sound mind and good intentions can reasonably disagree, right? Then a renowned yet confrontational scholar winds up dead, and Virgil Flowers is brought in to investigate. And as he probes the recent ideology unrest, he soon comes to realize he's dealing with people who, on this one particular issue, are crazy. Let's see, what year? 2019. Another guy we recognize, Vince Flynn, the survivor. When Joe Rickman, a former golden boy of the CIA, steals a massive amount of agency's most classified documents in an elaborately mastermind betrayal of his country, CIA Director Irene Kennedy has no choice but to send her most dangerous weapon after him, the elite covert operative Mitch Rapp. 2015. Oh, who doesn't know Patterson? Killer Instincts. The murder of an Ivy League professor pulls Dr. Roland Reinhardt out of the ivory tower and onto the streets of New York, where he reunites with his old partner, Detective Elizabeth Needham. As the worst of the terror act since 1911 strikes the city, a name on the casualty list rocks Dylan's world in his secret past about to be brought to light. 2019. SHARYN McCrum, Ghostwriters. In 1861, the Civil War reached the mountain south, where the enemy was your neighbor, the victims were your friends, and the wrong army was whichever one you joined. When Melinda Balleck's husband Keith joined the army, she dressed as a boy and went with him. They spent the war close to home in North Carolina mountains, acting as Union guerrilla fighters, raiding the farms of Confederate sympathizers and making as much trouble as they could locally. As hard-riding, deadly outlaws, Keith and Melinda avenged Confederate raids on their kin and neighbors. Interesting. Up, the spine is separated. 2003. We can see the reason for the discard. Nicholas Sparks, Dreamland. Colby Mills once felt destined for a musical career until tragedy grounded his aspirations. Now the head of a small family farm in North Carolina, he spontaneously takes a gig playing a bar in St. Pete's Beach, Florida, seeking a rare break from his duties at home. But when he meets Morgan Lee, his world is turned upside down, making him wonder if responsibilities he shouldered should dictate his life forever. Susan Mallory. I can see where this was discarded. Mackenzie Dine seems to have it all. A beautiful home, close friends, a successful career as an elite winemaker with the family winery. There's just one problem. It's not her family, it's her husband's. In fact, everything in her life is tied to him. His mother is the closest thing to a mom she's ever had. Their home is on the family compound. His sister is her best friend. So when she and her husband admit their marriage is over, her pain goes beyond heartbreak. Aww. Let's see. 2021. The Face of Death, Cody McFadden. I want to talk to Smokey Barrett or I'll kill myself. The girl is 16 at the scene of a grisly triple homicide and has a gun to her head. She claims the stranger killed her adoptive family, that he's been following her all her life, killing everyone she's ever loved, and that no one ever believed her until now. Uh, I don't like conspiracy stuff. Medical Judgment, Richard McBride. Hate when they put the sticker over the words. Let's see. After losing the two people she loved most, Sarah Gordon doesn't think life could get worse. But after a fire in her garage is ruled arson, she begins to realize that someone is after her. And that person wants to see her dead, but first they want to see her suffer. 2016. Ah! You know this guy? Good Lord. Over 1,000 pages. A patient escapes from a biological testing facility unknowingly carrying a deadly weapon, a mutated strain of a superflu that will wipe out 90% of the world's population in a few weeks. Oh, good God. Susan Mallory, The Stepsisters. Once upon a time, when her dad married Sage's mom, Daisy was thrilled to get a bright and shiny new sister. But Sage was beautiful and popular, everything Daisy was not, and she made sure Daisy knew it. Aww. Aww. 2021. Scott McEwen, Sniper Elite, on the one-way trip. In defiance of the President's orders, Navy Master Chief Gil Shannon, one of America's most lethal SEAL snipers, launches a bold mission, a compromised SEAL Team 6 and a Delta Force fighters to capture a female helicopter pilot held by the Taliban in Afghanistan. The president is afraid of a botched rescue could jeopardize U.S. foreign policy as well as end his presidency. But once the special op community learns that one of their own, the female helicopter of the Army's Elite 106 Special Operations, is being held and brutally mistreated, they don't give it a second thought. They're gonna go get her. Let's do these. And then we can get you your dinner. Do you want your dinner? Alright, let's see. Every summer after CARLEY Fortune, they say you can never go home again, and I can't do it, I can't say it. Ever since she made the biggest mistake of her life a decade ago, she has felt too true. Instead of spending glittering summers on the lakeshore of her childhood, she stays home in a stylish apartment in the city, keeping everyone in a safe distance from her heart, until she receives the call that sends her racing back to Barry's Bay and into the orbit of Sam Florrick, the man she never thought she'd have to live without. What happened in the past? What did she do? The Soldier's Wife, Margaret Leroy. As World War II draws closer to Guernsey, Vivian de Lamar knows that there will be sacrifices to make, not just for herself, but for her two young daughters and her mother-in-law, for whom she cares while her husband is away fighting. What she does not expect is that she will fall in love with a German soldier. Yeah. She... 2011. Ah! Miss Christmas. 1225 Christmas Tree Lane. The people of Cedar Grove know how to celebrate Christmas like Grace and Olivia and everyone else. Beth Morehouse expects this Christmas to be one of her best. Her small Christmas tree farm is prospering, her daughters and her dogs are happy, and her new relationship with vet Ted Reynolds is showing promise. But someone left a basket filled with puppies on her doorstep, puppies she's determined to place in good homes. I hope so. 2011. Stuart McBride, Blind Eye. I hate when they... The guy's name is under the sticker. Ugh. You know, I really should look at these before I... But they're in the box! I have no idea what they're in the box. I have no idea what's coming. I have no idea. Alright, preying on Aberdeen's growing population. The pattern is always the same. Men abandoned on building sites, barely alive, their eyes gouged out and their sockets burned. When the victim's too scared to talk and the only witness a pedophile who's on the run, Grampian police is getting nowhere fast. The attacks are brutal, they keep happening, and soon DS Logan McRae will have to decide how far he's prepared to go bend the rules to get results. (2009) I don't think that's been read much at all. The Perfect Girl, Gilly McMillan. Water damage. Water damage. That's why it was discarded. But the things over the things. I can't see what the person's name is. Zoe is 17-year-old musical prodigy with a genius IQ. 3 years ago, she was involved in a tragic incident that left 3 classmates dead. She survived her time, and now her mother, Maria, has resolved to keep that devastating fact far away from her new beginnings, hiding the past from the new husband and demanding that Zoe do the same. Mr. Baldacci. The Edge. When CIA operative Jenny Sickwell is murdered in rural Maine, government officials have immediate concerns over national security. Her laptop and her phone were full of state secrets that in the wrong hands could endanger the lives of countless opposite. In a need of someone who can resolve the murder quickly and retrieve the missing information, the U.S. government knows that the chameleon on whom it could call. Ex-Army Ranger Travis Devine spent his time in military preparing to take on any scenario, followed by a short-lived business career, chasing shadows in the deepest halls of power, so his analytical mind makes him particularly suited for this mission. Margaret Marion, Sand Sharks. Judge Deborah Knott can't wait to trade the lush fields of Colleton County for the clear blue ocean and long stretches of sand at Riceville Beach. A summer conference for the North Carolina District Court judges couldn't come soon enough for Deborah, who was overwhelmed by her newly married life and the responsibilities of being a mom. Lying beneath the hot summer sun in Wrightsville and reconnecting with old friends over delicious seafood dinners in nearby Wilmington, Deborah finally begins to unwind, but tensions are building beneath the surface of the seemingly peaceful resort. Deborah's relaxing trip to Seaside takes a sudden dark turn when she stumbles upon a corpse. Okay. Mr. Reacher? In Guardsville, Colorado, a woman dies under the wheels of a moving bus. The death is ruled a suicide, but Jack Reacher saw what happened. A man in gray hoodie and jeans moving stealthily pushed the victim to her demise. He's gonna get justice. Daniel Silva, The Collector. I see what's going on here. Let's see. On the morning of the Venice Preservation Society annual Black Tie Gala, art restorer and legendary spy Gabriel Allon enters his favorite coffee bar on the island of Monroe to find General Cesar Ferry, the commander of the art squad, eagerly awaiting his arrival. The Carabinieri have made a startling discovery in the Alpha Miller of murdered South African tycoon, a secret vault containing an empty frame and a stretcher matching the dimensions of the world's most valuable painting. HOSACK'S Folly. Set in 1820 Manhattan, HOSACK'S Folly weaves a vibrant tapestry of time, place, and people on the verge of surrendering their innocence and idealism for the greed and the glory of the Gilded Age. And a cast of fictional characters as rich and colorful as any Dickens stands one fascinating historical figure. David Hosack, the doctor who attended Alexander Hamilton during the fatal duel with Aaron Burr. This sounds good. Let's see what goes. Went on to found Bellevue Hospital, Columbia University Medical School, and the first botanical garden in New York. The novel opens 20 years after the ill-fated duel, and Hosack is once again at the center of a controversy. And Don't Talk to Strangers, Amanda Kyle Lee Williams. In the woods of Whispers, Georgia, 2 bodies are found. One recently died, the other decayed from exposure to the elements. The sheriff is going to need help to track down an experienced predator who abducts girls and holds them for months before ending their lives. Enter ex-FBI profiler and private investigator Kay Street. See what happens. So that's our book of fiction? Mainstream fiction? Mystery fiction? Sounds good. Unboxing mystery fiction again. So what'd you think? I have no idea what's coming in these boxes when they show up. I have no idea what's in them. So we'll see what happens next week. Stay tuned. Don't forget Voyager's Friday and If Then, well, we might still have a couple of Flashback Mondays, but if it's not, it's going to be If Then Mondays. If Then is on Fridays, but when I finish Flashback Mondays, I'm going to move If Then to Mondays. Have a good one.